The ongoing drought since July has dried up the Amazon River in Brazil. Its water level has reached an all-time low. For almost a month now, the country's largest state, Amazonas, has been in emergency mode. A boat or a boat in these places has always been more important than a car. It was river transport that brought food, medicine and fuel to the people of Amazonas, but the drought has paralyzed shipping. Manaus could run out of food and fuel. The neighboring city of Porto Velho is also suffering from drought. Anyone who can send us water, let them do so through humanitarian organizations. We really need water, stated local resident Lucas. The largest city in the Amazon, Manaus, is on the brink of disaster. Until recently it was possible to get from here to anywhere in the region by ferry, but the ships are running aground. Many locals used to fish, but it is no longer available here. The forest fire in Bolivia has engulfed nearly 1,000 hectares of land. A forest fire broke out in the eastern part of Bolivia. At the moment it is known about 12 hotbeds of fire. The fire has engulfed almost 1,000 hectares of land in the Noel Kemp Mercado National Park. It is considered one of the largest parks in the entire Amazon basin. In addition, near the city of Santa Cruz, crops were destroyed. Helicopters were sent to help firefighters. Emergency services continue to fight forest fires that have covered thousands of hectares. A new wave of hot weather is contributing to the spread of fires. Many scientists attribute the wildfires to climate change, amplified by human activity. And while the scale of fires this summer is generally below long-term averages, computer models show that the frequency of heat waves is likely to increase in the future. Consequently, without protective measures, the risk of wildfires will also increase. A massive sandstorm has hit Jordan. A powerful sandstorm has hit the town of Azraq in Jordan. It's 100 kilometers east of the capital. Strong winds blew clouds of red sand into the air and covered the ground, houses and cars with it. The weather has reduced visibility to almost zero. Drivers can hardly move on the roads, which are also covered with sand. People are asked not to go out on the streets or drive unless necessary. Mosquitoes, vectors of dangerous diseases, have become more active due to the heat wave in Italy. In Italy, scientists have recorded abnormally high activity of mosquitoes, which can carry deadly diseases. Such behavior is associated with warm weather, which has established in the country in recent months. According to experts, we are talking about the so-called tiger mosquitoes, which belong to the species Aedes albopictus. They were discovered in the Apennines in 1990 and have since spread to many countries in the Old World. Romeo Bellini, head of the sector of medical entomology and zoology at the Center for Agricultural Ecology of the Emilia-Romagna region, told the publication Corriere della Sera that experts have detected a 30% increase in the number of the species. The presence of mosquitoes is closely related to temperature and not to the amount of rainfall, since in the city they manage to find water, the scientist emphasized. Bellini recalled that mosquitoes do not live according to a calendar, but according to weather conditions. In case of high air temperature, the reproduction cycles of bloodsuckers can last with the same frequency as in summer, and their hibernation period is postponed. According to media reports, high mosquito activity has led authorities in many cities to carry out additional disinfestation. However, many Italians still complain about the annoying buzzing of these insects and painful bites. Specialists warn that mosquitoes can carry deadly diseases: dengue fever, Zika virus, chikungunya fever and some others. A magnitude 4.9 earthquake has been recorded by seismologists in Afghanistan. An earthquake with a magnitude of 4.9 has occurred in Afghanistan. This is reported by the European Mediterranean Seismological Center. According to seismologists, the origin lay at a depth of 10 kilometers. Epicenter at a distance of 9 kilometers from the city of Baghlan, where about 108,000 people live. There was no information about any damage or casualties. In the mountains of Almaty avalanche, there are victims. An avalanche has occurred in the mountains of Almaty. According to official data, the snowfall was triggered by 2 professional skiers. Rescuers have left to transport the victims. One of them is tentatively 33 to 35 years old. To get to the scene of the accident, emergency personnel will be several hours. So far there is no information about the condition of the skiers. Recall, the day before, the local emergency department warned about the weather conditions and asked not to visit residents and visitors to the mountains.
That's one of the biggest avalanches I've ever seen in my life. It's gonna pummel us. What? Dude, I hope nobody's down on Boot Hill. Here it comes, bro. Oh, we are.
Hail in China destroyed roofs of houses, cars and crops. A very frightening hailstorm occurred several times in China's Guizhou province from May 5 to 6 in Guiyang City district. The terrifying hail was the size of a hen's egg. The power of the falling hail easily pierced the roofs of houses and smashed cars. Several people were very seriously injured. Also, the heavy rain and hail turned streets into rivers and cars into boats. The roofs of houses were literally turned into sieves. Pets were also badly hurt after the hail broke through the roofs of local farms and started falling on the backs of poor pigs. Local farmers are literally weeping over their crops, as the plants are almost completely mangled by the icy cobblestones and are unlikely to produce crops. For many farmers, this is their only hope of feeding their families. Guiyang residents say they have never seen anything like this in their entire lives. And this is coming from people who have lived there for more than 80 years. Ring-shaped eclipse of the sun. Eyewitnesses told of goosebumps from the spectacle. The main astronomical phenomenon of the year, annular solar eclipse, was seen by residents of North and South America. The moon hid 95% of the solar disk, a shining ring appeared in the sky. Bryce Canyon National Park. The solar eclipse is best seen from here. Many campgrounds and hotels located nearby, Americans booked a year in advance. They came here before sunrise to get the best spots. All eyes are on the sky. Thousands of amateur astronomers gathered at a park in Oregon. Binoculars, special glasses, telescopes, all to enjoy the solar eclipse. The moon covered 95% of the sun. An eclipse of this type is a ring of fire. The moon is at the farthest point in its orbit from Earth, so it cannot completely block the sun. As a result, the sun's light surrounds the moon's shadow, creating what is known as a ring of fire. At first we couldn't see anything because of the clouds, but then when they cleared, we saw the solar eclipse. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful and greatest events I've probably ever seen in my life, noted Oklahoma resident Tony Towns. The eclipse was best seen across the United States, Central America, Colombia and Brazil. The next time to witness such a phenomenon will be only in 23 years.
Video of it, no less. I will be.